Good morning. Good morning. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be here this morning. And I know that's my keyword, right? Like, so if you do a keyword search for Senabella, you might find the word excited. That's because I am. I am uber excited to be here today. Last week I had a refresh of a recording that I had previously done that played, and I was really happy to do that because Henri traveled over to Nigeria, and it was my way of saying safe travel and thank you for coming here on Female Solution at Coffee Break with Senabella and making my life better because you're my dear sister, my dear friend, and I celebrate your success and everything you do around the world. I just want you to know I'm thinking about you, Henri, and I miss you. So today's show topic is about feelings. Oh my God, it's about feelings. And I've been in my feelings this past week or so, and we're going to talk about that. But I just wanted to make sure that I start off in the rhythm in which I have always prevailed in here at Coffee Break with Senabella, and that's waking up with the beautiful song. So if you are inclined to just lay back, listen, and meditate with this with me, then I'm inclined to do so. And I'll bring in my special guest who's going to join me as we discuss the needfulness of our life. Anyway, here we go. And I want to thank God so much for allowing me to have this song to always present to the world. Because I want to wake up feeling beautiful. 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 Beautiful, beautiful. I want to wake up feeling 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 beautiful. So beautiful. I want to wake up with the sun in my eyes and joy in my heart. I want to wake up feeling beautiful. I want to wake up feeling beautiful. So beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I want to wake up feeling beautiful. And if you are inclined to come by my page, you know that I love getting up in the morning now in my new ritual that God has sent me for it to do. And I know I sound a little preachy right now, but I don't mean to. But you know what? I've had the pleasure of placing my daily prayer on my page. And it has been, I don't know how to say it, but just the most beautiful thing for me to just expose myself. Good morning, Bill Morton, and the Coffee Breakers in the house. And I'm so glad. Oh my God. And good morning, Loisanne Mahone. Now talk about a voice. This sister right here. Loisanne, it is truly, truly, truly my honor to see you here this morning. Wonderful angelic sister and voice. I'm just saying that I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to be remembered. Thank you so much for being here, Loisanne. Thank you. And I hope you continue and you add into your comments, what are you in your feelings about today, people? What are you in your feelings about? And I'm going to give you a lead because I want to talk to you about me being in my feelings and why I came up with this, because it was really all about me. And I said to myself, I can't be by myself. It can't just be me. I can't be the only one running around here with this turbulence in my spiritual and emotional self as I make transformations in my life to be the better Senabella, the better Bella, as my sisters and brothers and family and some friends call me. You know, I've been challenged with so many positions and so many things in life, and sometimes it's more than I even can bear. But I have found recently it's not the bearing of the hardship, but the joy that I've been receiving that bear down on me. and its desire to be present all the time. This week, it was like this whole past week, it was like I had so much joy from just waking up every morning and placing my prayer that I was excited about everything I was doing. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of odd. I'm usually kind of like just somewhere in the middle. You know what I'm saying? And I was preparing with my sisters here from the Female Solution for a meeting on a Sunday. And we get together and we talk and chop it up. And Naima brings us in the room and she says, okay, let's unpack everything and we're going to put it back together. And so in doing that, I'm like, okay. And I was excited and she giving us tasks to do. And I was like ready and roaring. And then the internet became my nemesis. And no matter what I did, I could not get into that meeting. And I was texting and everybody let me in. Somebody help me, get me on it. Nothing came to it. And I just felt so deflated. And all of a sudden, all the joy I had, all of the desire to share and give and to be present was lost. All of a sudden, I felt small because I couldn't overcome this huge obstacle. And the obstacle was really my joy and my excitement and not being able to focus for a moment and find a door in. And so that's my first give of being in my feelings. And so when I got into the meeting, finally, maybe about, I think they had been in the meeting by that time about 30 minutes. And I was pissed. I was like mad at myself, mad at them. I was just like, can't nobody help me? Where's everybody at? I'm looking at you, but you're not looking at me. You know, nobody's calling me. And then all of a sudden I was in a meeting and a question was asked or something was stated by Naima. And I went, humph. Well, I don't care. I want what I want and I want what I want and I want it now. You know, and people were like trying to talk to me and I'm like, no, I'm going, you know, and like a spoiled kid, I went out of there. And they were trying to call me and I'm like, don't call me. Forget about me. Don't do anything. And I know they were like, what in the crap is going on with her? And I have to confess, I had been spoiled with happiness and joy and I wanted it to be my forward in everything. And in that moment when I was challenged to provide it, not to just myself, but to others, I failed at doing it. Because I think that I just lacked the recognition of what was going on in my life. And so sometimes we don't always see it and others do. And others can help us. And it's the ones that we least most likely expect to help us to move on and move forward. But the truth is that, yeah, you know, Brian Vickers, I'm telling you how I'm doing. I'm doing great today. Because I finally got over it. And Naima called me last night, late night. And it wasn't really late because I usually don't go to bed sometimes till 11 or 12. But I decided I was going to get me some sleep so I wouldn't look so horrible today, having gone through so much and had to recover. And I've been laughing at myself all week about that moment. And I had a good laugh with Naima about it. So I'm going to bring Naima in the room because I invited her to come on today so we could talk about feelings, baby. We're going to talk about feelings. So wait a minute, Brian, wait a minute. What you say? You say, I feel deflated at times too. I hear you. I am so feeling that. Like, why did you feel deflated, Brian? What makes you lose the air in your balloon? What is that all about? And let me just welcome Naima Latif into the room, and soon to be Dr. Naima Latif. And we're going to talk about that celebration of her life and her work in this here episode of Coffee Break with Senabella today. So let's welcome in the room. I'm going to say it now, Dr. Naima Latif, Dr. Naima Latif, the founder and executive producer of this female solution that we have been given the opportunity to be a part of on this platform. I'm kind of getting lost today, but y'all work with me, okay? Here we go. I'm doing it. I'm like, okay, let me slow down. I think I really do need some partnership. That's what I'm saying, girl, you need some partnership. You've been by yourself too long talking to your cats. We talked about that last night too.
Oh, yes.
I said I've been talking to my cat so much that when I'm talking to him, I'm walking with them and stuff, and people see me, they don't know the cats talk back to me or that I'm responding to them.
Mhm.
Cat lady.
Well, I truly understand. And grand rising to everyone. It's such a joy to be with you this morning. Yeah, I truly understand the conversation with the cat. You know, for years I took care of my mother in the home, and then she transitioned last year. And so for the first time in over a decade, I was alone in an entire house. But I have a whole collection of plants, and I can feel their presence. I can feel their energy. They are living beings. And so I talk to them. I greet them in the morning. "Hey, good morning. How are you?" I open the drapes and get some sunlight. And when I leave the house, I'll say, "I'll see you later." And I come back, I greet them. "How you doing?" "I'm back." You
Yeah.
know, so if anybody's walking past or happen to see me come in the door greeting somebody, they'll figure somebody else is in the house because I'm talking to my plants like they're people, because they are living beings. I do feel their return greeting when I speak to them. So when you talk to your cats, I totally understood it. It was normal for me.
Yes, yes. And I just want to keep getting back to it. It was normal for you, but I have to be honest with you. Somehow along the way, I had suffered from depression. I'm not somehow, I knew I had. And it had gone on for a very long time. And I developed, Brian, I developed coping mechanisms. And my coping mechanisms were within my work, things that I did. I avoided what was happening to me. And so, depression just was like part of my life. And it was so normal that when it finally did slap me in the face, knock me down, and push me in front of a truck, I had to accept that there was something wrong with me. So even though I had finally gotten to a place where depression no longer was like these clouds of rain that we have today, right? I had to realize that I'd had that in my life and I was looking for it. It had become my friend. Pain, Brian, feeling deflated and small, feeling like you don't matter, even when you're in the midst of helping and doing things for other people, and nobody seems to see you. It seems like you become missed in the midst of being with all the people. And I'm sure, Bill, that for you and your service to us in this year, civic ability that you have performed, and then as a professor, that it's got to be incredibly hard for you too, because we're always asked to be present, Naima. And we think that somehow people want us perfect. And so we try to provide perfection and we get missed by ourselves and through others because we don't know how to just step back and pay attention to that.
Yes,
It hits us, it knocks us down.
it does. And I have learned over the years and the studies that I've done that we are the energy, not the body that we're wearing, but we're the energy, the spiritual energy inside. And that's what people respond to. That's what influences what we draw to us or repel from us. And so the more aware of that I become, the more I understand how my presence is affecting people. So I have to be conscious of the energy I'm projecting. And when I'm sad or distressed, it does affect the people around me. So and it's beautiful the way you started the show with the just the calming kind of music and everything, because that makes a difference. Having that presence can perhaps calm somebody who is upset. Now, what I learned, because I, talked about my plants, all living beings are affected by energy. There was a time I was going through a deep depression, and I had one of my plants in the bedroom with me. And during that week, that plant started to droop further and further down until it looked like it was dead.
Hmm.
And I realized this plant is picking up my sad energy. So first of all, I took it out the room and put it with the other plants. And then I started playing bird song music, and within a couple of hours, literally in a couple of hours, it perked up.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I'm killing this plant with my energy. So
Yes.
sad and so down. So I had to I had to tear the plant up, get it away from me, and get it around some other plants, and then and play the bird song. And I found that birds sing at a pitch that does in fact enliven
Yes.
the plant life.
Yes.
So we're all this one energetic system on this whole planet, and everybody's energy is adding to the collective. So you can walk into a room with a spirit of joy and cheer, and you can actually change the whole atmosphere. Or you can walk in there with an attitude,
Like I did.
and that can change the whole atmosphere.
I'm pretty sure it did. It was big.
But you know, one good thing, and I'm grateful that over the years I have grown in understanding some of the things you shared. I realized you've been through some trauma. And so I knew that it wasn't personal, because whatever triggered it, it kind of made some things, as you said, come to the surface. But I didn't see it as like, oh, well, she didn't treat us right. No, I knew, okay, she's going through something. Give her some time, because this is internal. And when we understand that, then we don't react to people as much if they are maybe short-tempered or something. I mean, how many times we've been in line at the grocery store and we get up to the cashier and they got an attitude and they're snapping at us. You know, first thing we're gonna do is snap back. But how dare you disrespect me? They're not disrespecting you. They're responding to some internal thing that's making them upset. Got nothing to do with you or your importance in life, any of that. It's something happening inside them. And because I know that, I never take it personally. It's somebody's in a bad mood. And all of us have had things happening that are affecting us internally. And of course you take it out on people around you, because that's who's there. So that's why, you know, I look at mothers with small children, and sometimes they're stressed out, trying to get themselves to work and get the child ready for school, and they're thinking about this boss, this supervisor that's got an attitude if they come in late. So all of the stress of anticipating a reprimand if they're late gets passed on to the child. Hurry up, eat your cereal, hurry up, get your coat on, you know. And the poor child is feeling bad because, you know, the mom is screaming and hollering at them, but it's really not them. It's the bad feeling that's generated by the anticipation of the attitude of the people at the job if they come late, or whatever might have happened the day before they're still upset about. And how many of us experienced that growing up, where our parents in their stress yelled at us all the time and we were made to feel bad? Yeah. So we go to school and we're feeling bad, and what do? We start a fight with one another children. So it can be passed on, and it just creates a snowball effect. And this is why. Yes. And I'm so glad you're having this show today, for us to become conscious of our feelings and how they're affecting everybody around us.
And I put this picture up because my son, he gets frustrated with me easily. And I think it's because he knows that I'm working hard and I'm doing a lot, and he's working hard and he's doing a lot. And sometimes he doesn't know how to get me to a place where we can just be together and not be stressed out. And so I have to honor his feelings today and his thoughts, because I'm learning that what I think and what I feel when I enter a room, it's projected onto him and others.
Yes.
What we're saying. And you're right. Who knew plant life could feel our energy, Zelda? You're right. I learned that from my dear friend, this person here. Let me just put him in now. This guy right here, who is my bestie and my musical director, Robert Irving III. He's the one who started teaching me. He said, you know, trees and plants and flowers, they feel things. And I'm like, really? So he would write good things on his water. He would put his water in a jar, and then he'd write the feeling he wanted the water to take.
Yes.
His body. And he would talk about hugging a tree and tell me thank you and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, all right, whatever with all that, right? It was a lot.
What's the man named Masaru Emoto, I think, that did the study on water and how water will form beautiful crystals if you say wonderful things to it and you freeze the water. But if you say nasty things to the water, it'll form these horrible, misshapen shapes. And so that lets you, and because we're 70% water, that lets you know how the words people say affect the cells in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you are literally killing someone when you say something harsh and mean. I was trying to explain this to a friend of mine who, tends to say mean things when he's upset. And, I don't think he got it, but you're killing people when you say these things that are hurtful, literally killing them.
But
And
what I'm so sorry. I'm kind of rushing. Please let me let you finish it.
that's okay. Well, that's the thing. We will say things in our anger, not knowing the physical effect that we're having. So if you find yourself sick a lot, think of the people that you're around. What are they saying to you? What are you saying to yourself? Because you're literally making yourself sick by your thoughts. If you have negative thoughts at yourself, oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I look ugly. Oh, I'm too fat. And all the negative self-talk will cause you to become physically ill because you're attacking yourself, and your body is receiving that negative energy from your own mind, your own thoughts.
You're so right. And in that you're just saying all that, even though I'm aware of it, I'm still learning I still have to learn how to process and to put into the space when I'm there with my son, the things that I want to come out of it, and not to be caught up in what I say, which is what I was just doing, rushing to say what I want to say, as opposed to waiting and listening and learning what the room requires of me, and that's a big deal. It's a big deal. And it's the thing that's my shortcoming that I'm learning to grapple with now. And I'm prayerful that that I will find this here course to be something that I could be dutiful to. It's not easy. And but I love that I'm here. I love that I'm in a moment of awareness and that I get a chance to do something about it. How can I cause it to bloom into a flower, and instead of just being something stuck in the ground that that sometimes initializes and imitates this idea of plant life, of greenery, but can really become more of a blossom.
Mm. I remember years ago, I think it was in the 70s even, Stevie Wonder did this album called The Secret Life of Plants.
That's what Bill Morton just put up. Morton just put that up. The Secret.
Oh, yep. Yeah. I knew it wasn't my imagination. I remember that. And you think of somebody who can't see physically, how much more his other senses must have developed in terms of the ability to feel, because you're literally living according to the energy you're feeling from people, because you can't see their facial expressions, and all of those things. So I'm sure Stevie Wonder is very intuitive, and then picking up the energy of plants, that's just so profound. And then to be able to translate that to the sound in music is just, it's fascinating. So that was a really beautiful album. I remember that.
And so Zelda says, lots of tree hugging yesterday, and the heat felt so good. Trees rock. Well, you rock, Zelda. So, I'm sure whatever tree is around you is like, hey, Zelda.
Yeah.
Some people just have literally great energy.
Yeah. And we can give energy to our plants. My tree out in front of my house the leaves had some kind of disease several years ago. It's got these black spots on it. And I felt really bad because what had happened, some of the roots had gotten caught in the plumbing. And so, my plumber came and poured this, I guess, kind of poison down to get the, into the pipes to kill the roots that were stuck in the pipes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure it affected the tree.
And your water supply.
Yeah.
My mother had that problem.
Oh, so
just because you're here, I'm going to say I have to take a break.
Oh, well, let me come back to that story after the break. Find out what happened to the tree after the break.
And it's something I didn't do the opening, but you know what? I think it's time for everything, right?
All right, do it all now. There we go.
And so you all hang there with me. I'd like for my coffee breakers, all those who joined us this morning, can you put in the chat something that you feel you're struggling with? And Brian, I appreciate you saying that you feel deflated at times too. But can you share a little bit more of that with me? I'm really interested in finding out how you all are doing and what you're thinking as we go through this process. I want this conversation to be whole and full, not just for myself and my healing, but for yours as well. So we'll be right. Let me see. I want to say right back, but I'm like, okay, give me a second. We're going to be right back. We are about to be right back.
The Female Solution. The Female Solution Global Radio TV show invites you to join our team of hosts 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Time, Saturday and Sunday, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Central Time. Join us for an empowering, impactful conversation.
Yeah, so I just want to keep moving through. We're going to play those little clips in throughout. I want people to be aware of the fact that the Female Solution is bigger than one show at a time. It's just a really beautiful collective of sisters who are people. I'll say people, because sometimes we have male visitors as well, and they do their shows and what have you. And so it's just not just one thought process. We all are processing our thoughts through the whole life spectrum of human beings, right? And I just want to say Naeem is so broad in her thinking and in her actions, and I pray to be more like that so that I can be that graciousness that she has. Because whatever I got, I'm running out of my supply. I'm just going to have to keep doing my station identification break. You know, I have to pay attention to who I am, because if I don't do that, then I'm going to miss a bus, and I don't want to. I'm at a place where I want to, I just want to be fully present. And in saying that, look at what Sherry Lynn wrote. She says, I remember there was a place called Findhorn where the reality of plants life was exposed to me. I remember kissing new trees planted and wishing them well. That's a beautiful thing.
Wow, that's nice.
That's a beautiful thing. It is. And again, like I said, please, everyone, go ahead and share with us your thoughts. Don't be shy about it. Let me say something. One of the biggest things that I had to overcome was thinking that I was the only one in pain.
Oh.
That I was the only one who felt like I was just not present. I would get on stage and perform, and I would be so busy performing and giving and giving. And then later, when it was time to be celebrated, I'd just be busy packing boxes up and doing. I didn't even feel good enough to go out and allow people to congregate with me and help me to like move from that point. Included, I was so busy always bringing people in, including people, making sure people felt valued, but it was really what I needed. And I have found in my writing of songs and in my living of life that I've been giving what I actually need myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of us, I think one of our former hosts, Jody, was telling me that I have issues with receiving, and some of us, that's what it is. We always feel the need to give. I remember years ago, my husband and I used to entertain a lot. We'd have parties, we have friends, families, and everything. And I was always the person to make sure everybody was okay. I'm running back and forth, getting the food and welcoming guests and everything. And someone pointed out, you never enjoy your own parties. You're always so busy working. Oh, I never thought of that. Because I'm thinking, how you got to do when you got mixed parties. You got to make sure the toilet seat is back down every time somebody uses the bathroom, because men always forget to leave it up. All those kind of little things that you have to do as a host to make sure that everybody else is having a good time. But I realized I never just sat down and enjoyed my own party. I'm so busy serving and tending to everything else and cleaning up after, this kind of thing happened, and all that, make sure the children are wherever they're supposed to be and all that I didn't get a chance to sit down and enjoy the conversation at the party that was given in my own home. So I did understand that you have to be able to receive joy that you're trying to give. And sometimes it's a programming thing. How did your parents raise you? Did they raise you to believe that you shouldn't ask for attention, or that you were responsible for other people's happiness? Sometimes if you're the oldest in the family, you're the one that had to take care of the younger siblings. So you just You learn to always serve rather than be served. I mean, it's all kinds of experiences that you can have that will cause you to not receive from others, or even sometimes feel yourself worthy.
Well,
And you know, even like, look at how you might respond if somebody gives you a compliment. And it was brought to my attention also, when somebody would compliment me, I would always deflect it. Oh, well, you're this way also. Oh, well, you're, yeah. But it never did. And somebody's friend told me, can't you just say thank you? And I thought, oh, okay, I guess I need to acknowledge the compliment and not deflect it as if, well, you know, don't say that about me. And I realized that it was the thing my mother used to always say, well, I don't want you to get the big head. So she was that old school kind of parent. Well, you don't praise your children too much because you don't want them to get conceited. And sometimes we have to undo that sort of programming and realize it's okay to receive a compliment. It's okay to experience joy. It's okay to let other people serve you while you sit and relax. It's okay to do that, because sometimes we're programmed to not think we're supposed to need those things.
well, let me also add to that. And before I respond to Deborah, thank you so much for being here, Deborah. Grand Rising. I'm going to respond to that. My daughter, Nafisha, is the one who taught me how to say thank you. It's so crazy because I would say thank you to people, but if someone said to me, oh my God, you look so beautiful, I wouldn't say anything. Or if a guy, or if
it's
a
like
guy,
you can't acknowledge it. Say thank you.
something to me, I wouldn't respond. It's like there was no expectation I think I had for anything. I felt like all I had to do was just to be present, to perform, to give, to give, to give. So one day I was out with my daughter, and as she continued to grow, and she was always beautiful in her physical self, but there was something about her, like myself and others, that was attracting people to her. And they told her something beautiful all the time. And I heard her say one day when we were together the first time, I paid attention. She said, oh, thank you.
Mm.
I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm thinking to myself, how did she learn how to do that?
I know.
How did she, who taught her that? Right? And she was doing it all the time. And so one day when we were together, I said, Fish, baby, you know what? I think I learned something from you. She said, what is that? What is that, Mom? And I said, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, even something as simple as learning how to say thank you became a big deal for me.
Mm.
You know, so whatever it is, wherever we were in the beginning of our lives, I'm going to say this to everyone, wherever we were in the beginning of our lives became sort of the template of what we would become. And unless we became self-aware before we got to a certain place, like what we're speaking today, for me, then you just did those things naturally. My mother pulled me to the side and said, Senabella, you are going to be the example. I was a middle kid in a line of 16, but 14.
Oh, wow.
And here I was, I had to be an example. And I didn't understand what that meant, to the extent that it didn't mean that I had to do it all the time. So I didn't know how to do anything but to be the example. So I was constantly doing my sister's hair and clothing, and my brothers taking care of my brothers. And, you know, I was always trying to clean up and be the example. So I didn't know that examples were rewarded.
Mm.
So I just want to say that and get to Deborah. She says, Grand Rising. Hey, Deborah.
Deborah.
Because I really actually love Deborah. I think that's in the Bible too.
Yeah, yes, that's one of the biblical names. Yeah.
Says, I struggle with time management, maybe from 9 to 5 corporate life. Let me just say something to you.
Mm.
When I decided to walk away from that, it was because I knew that it had consumed me so much. And it didn't matter to me when I walked away. I didn't care about the money. I didn't care about that sort of exclusive thing that you feel when you're in corporate America and you being part of the big executive team, you know, and all that. But the work and the drive that was expected, and you knew it was expected, and you couldn't do anything but answer the call. So we had 5:30 in the morning corporate calls. We had work tasks to do. Here we are. We have to govern ourselves because we have all these people that we have to report to us, and we have to help move along. And so it was just a huge thing. even as you graduate from it, or should you say you undergraduate. And when I decided to move away and to start working for myself again, it was amazing how long it took for me to rinse my head out from that struggle of trying to assign everything from that corporate structure.
And the thing about that whole corporate structure, you're expected to neglect your family for the sake of the company, and you're praised if you do that effectively. You know, you you work late rather than get home so you can have dinner with your children. You know, you're willing to fly all out of town and be gone and spend hours in the early mornings preparing reports, all these great things you get praised for. But the underlying thing is we come first, neglect your family. No, you can't go to this funeral of this good friend of yours that passed away because you need to be at this event. And you find yourself neglecting the things that are important to your own life for the sake of the company. And so when people like us finally walk away, we realize that the real joy in life is the freedom to control your own time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more rewarding. And ultimately, if you're making a living doing what you love to do, then it doesn't feel like work.
That's
And
right.
so there's a joy that comes. I mean, the money is the gravy, but the substance is the work that you're doing that you feel fulfilled. And you have the freedom to choose how you want to spend your time and energy so that no one else controls whether or not, if a sick friend needs your time, you can go and see them. Or if your child needs extra time because they're going through a difficulty, or a parent is needing you to take them someplace because maybe they've gotten too old to drive. You don't have to tell them no because your boss might get mad. You don't have to deal with that. And that was one of the driving forces of me. I think, well, I officially left my first corporate job back in 1984 and have been independent in some instance ever since then, because even though it was, like you said, an exhilarating atmosphere, they were flying me different places, going to different events, and I enjoyed the status and everything. But there was a time when I realized I'm not going to go any higher in this company, and I need to control my own creativity. I need to own the thing that I'm producing. I need to be in charge of my life. And I didn't like the idea that other people can decide if someone dies, other people can decide whether or not they qualify as someone you can take off and go and honor them at their funeral. I didn't like that. Oh, well, they're not an immediate relative. You can't go. What? You gonna decide my feelings? I can't go and honor this person. It means something to me because you've decided they don't fit the guidelines on what on who I may go and see.
Yeah, and I just want to say, as it relates to corporate life, it is for some people.
Yeah, it's for some people. It's for some people, and
People are good.
be there. Some people are in that. That's okay.
They appreciate the competition. The I'm just saying there's just so many levels to what corporate life is in its work. And so it can be very fulfilling. It was fulfilling to me for a moment because I had this large group of people I could work with and assign tasks, but sit with and work with. I mean, I was in everything. I didn't just assign tasks. I created them. I worked with them. I helped manage them. I helped build them. I put 13, 14 hours a day in it. I loved that. It took everything from me. But I think Andrea is saying here something that we need to pay attention to. She said, I had to allow myself not to feel badly about not giving when I had nothing left to give. And that's what I had to do. And that's what you had to do. And that's what people are saying.
Yeah. I mean, there's a time and a place for everything. I think that corporate experience is a good thing. It helps you understand, teamwork and goals and structure and all of those things. It's a good experience. But sometimes you grow to another level where you need something else. And that no longer fits who you want to define yourself as, or where you want to go in life, or what you want to develop in terms of your own creative skills. And that's okay too. I mean, some people, they could stay at a company, 40 years and retire, and that's fine.
That's
Some
right.
people, that's not what they want for themselves. It's okay to do a multiplicity of things throughout your life's journey. There's no such thing as failure. There's only learning.
Listen to that. And so we have them, our coffee breakers are chiming in. Thank you so much. Sherry is saying, Bella, do right. As a teacher, I walked when the principal was ticked that I got a day old sweet rolls for coffee she was having. My dad was dying. That was it. I walked out the door. It took seven years to shake off the giving unceasingly DNA. That's the thing. And you don't even know it. And there's so many things that make us who we are. And we go into all these new experiences with this saying, as who says it better than Erica Badu, the bag lady syndrome, you know.
Mm.
And as we're taught that by white man corporate life, it was never meant for black men, and definitely not black women, who are the backbone of our families. Our energy was never meant for anyone other than our families that we produce. So then there's this bottled up syndrome that you're speaking to, right?
Mhm.
And so many, so many things. And then here's Deborah back, and she's saying, I want hers to come up. My wheel is spinning, but I just want to keep going. That, yeah, we have to learn how to manage what's going on with us, but we can't manage it if we're not paying attention to it.
That's true. That's true.
So if you're used to walking around with bare feet and dirty feet, you don't know you have dirty feet, and you look up and somebody sees them and says, "Oh my God, your feet are dirty," and you're like, "Oh, are they?" I'm just used to walking around barefooted.
Mm-hmm.
You maybe, and when I'm home working, which I do too often, and I said I have to start learning how to give more of my day out of my house and not in it, right? But you learn how to just relax so much you forget, oh, wait a minute, like right now I saw the little curl crop up, and little things that you present yourself socially, you know and we have to feel comfortable who we are socially. And some people are just cool socially as they are. They'll walk out and they'll slop around the way they walk, and they smile real big and broad, and they're happy, and they don't seem to be consumed or have this idea that somehow they're not perfect, and they're not homeless or anything. They're just comfortable in their own skin.
Well, that's really the goal in life, is to be comfortable with who you are. We are always being programmed to think that we're not enough. And the constant stress of that's what makes you sick. Your body will manifest whatever your internal energy has been over time. So when you have different parts of your body that malfunction, is because you've been directing negative energy at your body for a long period of time, negative energy from your thoughts about yourself.
Yeah.
So if people understood it, and I've been studying, Louise Hay, who wrote a book about how your emotions affect your body, and she has a whole chart on every illness and which emotion led to that illness. So once your body breaks down, you've been holding that negative energy for a long time, and it's been affecting your cells so long that now you have the physical manifestation of an illness. So the way you feel, your feelings, that is critical to your health. And if you're going someplace every day that you hate and have to work around people that you can't stand, and they talking about you and all that kind of thing, and every day you hate it, you're making yourself sick. So
Yeah.
it's better to leave that job.
And not only that, I want to say this before I take a break. Like, that's the thing about great communication, right? It's needful. And so breaks don't feel as important, but we do need to take it. But it's important also to not feel ashamed of how you feel.
Shame is the lowest vibration.
Right. When you walk around with that shame, then it keeps you from healing and doing what you know you should be present with.
Yes.
Really, really hard. But Jody said barefoot is good. And yeah, barefoot Barefoot is good because the circadian rhythm of walking out on the grass, standing in the dirt, resetting our bodies, right? You
Yes.
know, and then Asada's talking about that's why we have our featured, that's why have you featured in our film Healing Work, the power of Black organizing, Naima Latif.
Ah.
We heal others Black ways of healing ourselves.
Yeah.
Or we have ways, but we haven't shared, we haven't allowed others to share it with us. We walk around with pride. I mean, there's so many pieces to this. Let me go and grab something and feel that I've met my requirement. Let's just go there, okay?
All righty.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms.
The female solution. I want to go back and just kind of be remind us of where we are in this conversation, because we have so many comments that are coming up, and I want to kind of get to that. It's always fruitful to hear what it is that our invited guests, our coffee breakers, are saying. It's just really good, important information. Yvette Rose wrote a book like Hayes. It's on steroids, 900 pages connecting emotions to disease. And let me tell you how much I believe that. I have a friend who has been struggling for almost a year inside of a rehab center. But his words have been, why can't I be a miracle?
I like that.
People around him everywhere, going home, dying and stuff. He says, but why can't I be a miracle? And I said, you know what? I accept that. So every time I saw him and his family was boohooing and saying, we don't know. I'm like, he said he's going to be a miracle. That resonate with you?
Oh, yes. Well, there have been many people that have totally reversed what everybody thought was a terminal illness. And it's something on the inside of them that changed their energy. And it is possible to be a miracle.
Yes.
Because you mentioned shame. Shame is the lowest vibration that you can feel. And that will deteriorate you more than anything else. And that's what drives people to commit suicide. So you can feel shame and you're really slowly killing yourself internally.
I can speak to that because that's certainly how I felt. And I was definitely on the brink of trying to just get rid of myself. I used to sit around and just sit in a chair and sweat, thinking of ways to be done. Because so I didn't know how to overcome the shame of sexual abuse. Right? I didn't know how to wash that out of my life. In fact, I didn't even know I was thinking about it. But it was within me. The interior consciousness of it was within me. And so anyone who presented themselves to me and thought of me in a certain way made me want to run and hide, because I thought their recognition would lead to more of what had taken place. So shame was a big part of my life through most of the most successful time in my life. The most successful time when I was doing commercials and voiceovers and I was in newspapers and on and on outdoor poster ads and traveling around doing fashion shows in New York and all that. I was an absolute mess.
And you know, that's an amazing thing. You will see many entertainers. They're making everybody else happy with their work, their songs, their dance, their creative energy. But inside the turmoil, I look at a musical genius like Michael Jackson and what he was going through internally. And ultimately, you know, his taking of the drugs that ended his life. He had been through so much public attack and all of that, and it was overwhelming. But you look at someone like that who was nearly worshipped globally because of his talent, and yet his internal turmoil. And I'm sure his family understood that because they could see it up close and personal. But you never know what a person is enduring on the inside, because on that stage they light up and they are projecting all of this fabulous energetic talent.
But it's a healing place too.
Yes,
When you're creative and you're in an element or aspect of what it is that you believe that is you, it's a healing place. So whether you're writing a book,
that's what
whether you're plowing the earth and planting, whatever it is that you're doing that makes you feel connected. For me, I would transcend from the music into the outer universe.
Yeah,
I was experiencing things in that universe that was just so incredible that I didn't even know I was on stage. And I'd be singing and I'd wake up out of wherever I come from and I would see the audience in this sort of nod as well. And then the musicians were in their own nod. I write about it in my book that I'm trying to complete and put out. And I talk about that moment on the stage where I wake up and I see the audience doing this, and I see the guys behind me all like, and me going, oh, they're not back yet. I had come back. I was into the now.
You were in another realm.
All I remember is just hearing the music and being da 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 da. You know, da 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 da.
You were functioning a whole different dimension. Yes.
Don't. You're just nodding and going, and next thing you know, and people say, "Oh, that was fantastic," but you don't remember the presence of the fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of what healing can be like.
Yeah.
Also the scary part, because a lot of people want to get lost in that, and so it's important to not create addictions too.
Well, that is what happens when you're in pain and you have to do a thing to remove the pain, but you don't ever remove the source of the pain. That's why you have to keep doing the other thing that helps you temporarily not feel the pain. That's where an addiction comes from. Unless you heal the source of the pain, you'll be addicted to whatever thing it is you use to temporarily make the pain go away. Whether and it can be all kinds of things. And sometimes there are positive things, like, a person who's performing, or a person who's in athletics, or a person who is working. You can do all kinds of things that take your mind away from the inner pain.
Well, I just want to say,
stop the thing that caused the pain, then that thing becomes your obsession, and then that's when there's an imbalance.
So Deborah says she could not understand why comedians committed suicide.
Yeah, you look at
right. Yeah, and it's through a lens that you are in performance and that you're providing something to people that gives them a sense of relief. But that lens is narrow for you because you're the one in performance. It's like if you're building the houses that people live in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you finish the job and you move on. And one day you drive through the neighborhood after you've done all the work and you say, 40 years ago, I built that building. 40 years ago, I put the streets down in this neighborhood. 40 years ago, I planted all these trees. 40 years ago, I was at that supermarket working. 40 years ago, I was a kid in the park working. And because you keep moving in life. And that's where sometimes life doesn't make sense to you.
Yeah.
And I would challenge everyone to take a look at your book. Stop and take a look at your picture and ask yourself, remember something that you've not remembered from a long time ago, and realize
Yes.
what it can bring. Because in my being where I am now, I now remember things, and I see the joy in my life, and I see the happiness in my life, and I see the people who gave to me in my life, and that I understand those who really cared for me. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, and this is for the women. When you date guys and you talk about how they weren't the right one for you, and you spent time with that guy, I promise you, I took a look back at my date book, and baby, I was blessed.
Mm.
They might not have become my husband if they wanted to, or I wanted them to, or we might not have made it past the coffee and rolls. But at the end of the day, I've been blessed to know some fabulous, wonderful brothers.
And that's an amazing thing. And
And
every experience teaches you something.
yeah, I just want to say, if for anyone who had been wrong to me that was a male, I met a whole lot more who were wonderful.
That's good. That's good. And we need to acknowledge that too, because sometimes we bash men so badly, but there are some wonderful men out there that do some amazing things. I have been blessed to have so many wonderful male friends, and I'm grateful for that. Grateful for 20 years of marriage to a wonderful partner in life that's still a partner in life, even though he's on the other side, and just so many things that I've been blessed to experience. And I've had a chance to reflect a lot on life in general, as my sisters and I were writing this book, Growing Up Charles. Our last name was Charles when we were growing up. And so we're talking about our life growing up in this neighborhood that we grew up in. And it's given us all a chance to really reflect on how we became the people we became as children of the parents who parented us the best way they knew how. But it did help us to grow into some women that are making a positive difference. I'm grateful for that experience, but it does help you reflect on each person that had an impact on your life. So, and this upcoming, of course, Senabella will be out there live with us as we're at the We Dream in Color and Unity celebration. I'll be officially Dr. Naima Latif, and it's going to be a fabulous show at the DuSable Museum.
Where's that at? That you're right. That is coming up, and it's going to be a wonderful occasion this Saturday at the DuSable. Not this Saturday, next Saturday at the DuSable Museum.
19th of July.
Award recognitions of honorees who are receiving PhDs, doctorals for their work and their service to other human beings, and that is a hugely beautiful way of recognizing those who are on the ground planting seeds and leaving crops for us to learn from and to eat and feed from. And so I thank you for that in advance. And I look forward to being there on the carpet, talking to everybody and interviewing and being a part and showing my work for Female Solution and being a solution for people in another way, and very modest and humble way. And I just want to say, we've run out of time.
It's so fast.
I want everybody to know, every one of you have added to this here program today. And I just thank you so very much for coming in to be a part of what it is that Coffee Break with Senabella wishes to, provide. And of course, dear, wonderful Naima, your dream and your vision, I hope and pray that we've added to that today.
Absolutely. And for those who want to get that VIP ticket and enjoy that experience, you can email me at naima.thefemalesolution@gmail.com. That's Naima. You see my name, Phil. .thefemalesolution. NAIMAH.thefemalesolution@gmail.com.
So here we go, guys. I'm going to close out here. Naima, thank you. Got a few minutes left, and I'm going to just speak to the audience. God bless you. I'll speak back to you very soon. All right, guys. So that's it for today. We're down to literally seconds for me to close out. And I just want to say thank you. I'll see you on the other side. All right.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.